Right, page 22, example 4. Calculate the cost per meter. Okay, we're not looking at rate, we're cost per meter of laying 160 millimeter diameter PVC pipe, PVC drain pipe in loose sandy soil. So it's loose with a bulking factor of 25%. The PVC socketed drain pipe with rubber seal rings is laid in the ground exceeding 1.5 meter but not exceeding 2.25. So if they gave us something like this, then we're looking at an average in our calculations. All right. For the total length of 3,500 meters. 3,500 meters is 3.5 kilometers, so it's long. And the depth is not constant, so it ranges between these. So we'll have to average out the depth as we progress with the work. A back-acting excavator, which is a TLB, is hired, critical. So if it's hired, you're going to get a rate. And if it's hired, it means it's not owned. So you're basically throwing out owning costs, operating costs, and all of that. The following data is available. You got an artisan for labor. He costs 12 Rand and 50 cents per hour. And the laborer costs 5 Rand and 20 cents per hour. So if you have 5 or 6 laborers, it's 5 or 6 times 5 Rand 20 per hour. The second activity we've got here is a labor output for backfilling and ramming. And this activity requires a gang of 5, and they can do 60 cubic meters per day. So this is their production. Drain laying, gang of 1 drain layer and 2 laborers, and they can lay 48 meters in an hour. There's quite a bit that they can do, okay, for that activity. Plant specification, the type is a case 580 back actor. This is not really relevant, okay? This is the brand. But the fact it is a back actor is the issue that concerns us. All right, it has an output of 25 cubic meters per hour. That we know we need. Width of the bucket, 600 millimeters, we're gonna need that. All right, high rate, 150 Rand wet. We already explained in previous lectures what wet means. All right, pipe specification, 160 millimeter diameter PVC pipe, and the cost is 40 Rand 55 cents for 6 meters, not for 1 meter, for 6 meters. Careful, all right? Inclusive of sealing rings, etc. Allow 15% for profits and overheads. Make reasonable assumptions where information is not given. Like I said, I will not allow you to do that. All right, so let's look at this particular solution. But before I go there, the reason I put in this example is because pipe laying is a regular activity for contractors, consultants, and for municipalities. So if you end up in one of those environments, pipe laying sooner or later is going to be something you're going to be exposed to. And that's the reason I brought it into this section. All right, to give you an idea how to price this job. All right, so let's look at the typical solution. All right, so we're going to start with the back actor. Okay, let's say back actor. Right, and as I mentioned, there's going to be an average depth. You're going to say it's half of, 1.5 plus 2.25, and it gives us a depth of 1.875 meters. Right, therefore, excavated quantity is expected to be 3,500 meters long. The width of the bucket is 0.6 meters. Let's put a note here, width of bucket, so you don't get lost where this number came from. And we multiply that by the average depth of 1.875, and we get a quantity of 3937.5 meter cubed. All right, so that's the kind of volume we're dealing with. All right, more or less. You'll see it's going to go up, it's going to drop for different reasons. All right, output of this machine. Output is given as 25 meter cube per hour. However, it is working at a depth of between 1.5 meters less than 3.0 meters. So it's that range. Because of that, what happens? We need to reduce. Reduce by how much? 20%. All right, therefore, the reduction is 100 minus 20 is equal to 100%, 20%, and we got 80%. All right, and it follows through that 25 meter cube per hour times 0.0 times 80 over 100. And now we're sitting with a capability of 20 meter cube per hour. So it started at 25, but reduced to 20 simply because it's working at a depth now. All right, so how long does it take now if it's reduced? So let's say excavation time is equal to, what was that number? 3937.5 divided by 20, and we're getting what? 196.875 hours. And if you have the hours, then you can estimate the cost. You're looking at 196.875 times 150 Rand per hour as a given. And we're getting a total cost for this machine at 29,532. All right, 29,532 Rand and 0 cents. That's for the machine. Let's look at the next activity, drain laying. All right, duration 8,500 meters, 48 meters per hour as a given, and we're getting 72.92 hours for draining it. And we're given the labor requirements. As 1 artisan plus 2 laborers. Therefore, labor costs, let's see, 72.92 times 12 Rand 50 for the artisan, plus 2 times 5 Rand 20 for the laborers. And what we got? We got a labor cost for drain laying sitting at 1,669.87 bucks. All right. First for the back tractor, then we went to drain laying. Now let's go to the next activity. What is the next activity? Back filling and ramming. Right. Now using the bulking factor. Factor given as 25% and volume of pipe. Why am I looking at volume of pipe? Let's look at it. Let's look at why. All right, let's look at why. If you have a trench, all right, if you have a trench and it's ground, here's my trench, and inside there I've got my pipe, right? Now, the reason the pipe is suspended because you have to put in some type of bedding material. You'll learn about that as you progress in your career. Nevertheless, if I have my pipe, all right, and it takes up this amount of space, all right, we're gonna need to find out what's left to work with, because the rest has been taken up by the pipe itself, right? So for that, we need to find the volume of the pipe. So let's move on. Volume of pipe, and we find pi d squared over 4 is the area times 3,500 meters, and we get a volume of 70.4 meter cube. All right. So if you're working with 3937.5 as the volume we calculated earlier on, take off the volume of the pipe, we left with what? 3867.1 meter cube. Right? So it dropped because the pipe is in the way now throughout 3.5 kilometers. All right, but that's going to go up. Why? Because you disturbed the soil. You increased the voids, all right, or you introduced voids by 25%. So volume now we're dealing with is backfill 3867.1 times 1.25. What is this? 25%. 25% bulking. All right, and now that gives us more. So we got more to deal with. How long does it take? Let's look at duration. If you have duration, then we can calculate cost. Duration, we're looking at 4833.88 divided by 60 meter cube per day gives us 80.57 days. All right, labor cost. And we're saying 8-hour day, which gives us 80.57 times 8 hours per day times 5 days per week times a cost of $5.20, and we get a cost share of 16,758.56. All right, so that was for that activity, backfilling and ramming. All right, let's now bring in the next item that's costing on this job, the 160 millimeter diameter pipe. Right, how much does that cost? All right, let's say total cost, you're looking at 40 Rand and 55 as a given, times 3,500 meters. All right, and let's divide it by 6 because one length only costs that amount, so we can get complete cost of this. And we're finding out that this cost is quite substantial. It's 23,654.17 rands. All right. So what is the total cost of the operation? All right, total cost of operation. We're saying, let's start at the beginning. Let's first begin. The first cost, 29,532. 29,532 plus 1,669. 1,669 point something 87 plus, what is the next one? 16. 758.56. The last one is the cost of the pipe, 23,654.17. And we're getting a total cost there of 71,614 Rand and 60 cents. Right, but the company has a markup for profit and overheads. And what's that given at? 15%. So we're going to take our cost, which is 71,614.60, and we're going to multiply it by our markup, and that's going to give us a cost of 82,356.79 Rand. All right, so that's the total price of this job, including your profits. But the question asks for, what did it say? Cost per meter. What is the cost per meter? Simple. We take our cost, complete cost, 356.79, divided by the total length of pipe work, and that gives us a cost per meter of 23 Rand and 53 cents per meter. Okay. Notice how we've broken down each of the activities and the plant and the cost of the pipe. And not too difficult, not too complicated. We found a cost per meter. All right, all within the ambit of estimation. You use bulking factor. All right, you use overheads and profit. All right, what else? Yeah, you use labor and artisans and the cost of it. All right, you could use output of the machine, all within the ambit of estimation.